Hello friends. Today we are going to discuss a question from Putnam 1999. It was A1 problem. The question said find all polynomials fx, gx and hx such that fx modulus fx minus modulus gx plus hx equals to this split functions. We had to find all these f, g and h from this given equation. So before I start solution, please like this video if you like the solution and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Now let's start the solution. Here it is clearly given that f, g and h are polynomials and this is the summation of polynomials, so it must be a continuous function because polynomial is itself a continuous functions. But there is two splits. One is at x equals to minus 1 and other one is at x equals to 0. So these splits are caused due to the presence of this modulus functions, and the output or which we are getting after manipulating this whole functions at different intervals are linear functions. We can clearly observe that. So from here we can simply argue that f, g and h must be a linear kind function. It must be of form ax plus b. So let us define another function. Let's call it xi x equals to, since I'm supposing that those are linear functions and the splits are caused at x equals to minus 1 and x equals to minus 1 and x equals to 0. So I'm assuming that xi x equals to some constant a multiplied by modulus of x plus 1 and some constant multiplied by x modulus x and then plus cx plus d, another one linear function. These two positions I am getting split, so I have taken such that the modulus must split here. So x plus 1 and x, it is splitting at a minus 1 and it is splitting at 0, and this is a linear polynomial function. So now what we have to do is we are going to solve xi x or simplifying it in different intervals, and then we will compare with the given equation. So xi x will be equal to, let's split it. We are going to get three intervals due to this. One will be x is less than minus 1, another one minus 1 greater than x less than equal to 0, another x greater than 0. In the first scenario, since x is less than minus 1, so here modulus will, the quantity which is inside the modulus will be negative. So we can write minus x minus 1 after removing modulus, and x is less than minus 1, which clearly means that it is negative. So here also we will get b minus x plus cx plus d. Similarly here x is greater than minus 1 but less than equal to 0. So this thing will be positive. So we are going to write ax plus 1 plus, but since it is negative, so we can write b minus x plus cx plus d. And then here x greater than 0, then everywhere we can clearly write ax plus 1 b x plus cx plus d. Now let's write it in a clear way. Here if I take x common, then I will get uh, c minus a minus b plus then d minus a when x is less than minus 1. Now if I take common x here, then I will get a plus c minus b plus d plus a. These are the constant values when minus 1 is greater than in this interval. And now when x is positive, then what I will get, a plus b plus c x plus d plus a. Okay, you can clearly observe that d plus a both are same, and here also 2 and 2 both are same. This is just an observation point. Now let's compare this function with this given function, because xi x I am supposing that this must be this must turn out to be xi x. Then we can compare. Now when x is less than minus 1, then it is minus 1. That means coefficient of x must be 0. c minus a minus b equals to 0, and the constant part d minus a must be minus 1. When I am comparing second one, then the coefficient of x must be equal to 3. Therefore, a plus c minus b equals to 3, and the constant part must be 2. D plus a equals to 2. And third case, a plus b plus c equals to minus 2, and d plus a equals to 2. This is the same equation. Now let's call this equation 1, this as equation 2, this is equation 3, this is equation 4, and this as 5. Now let's add 1 plus 5, equation number 1 and 5. When we will add, a and b will get cancelled out, and we will left with 2c equals to minus 2, which means c equals to minus 1. Now in the next step, because I have to just find all the values of a, b, c and d, in the next step I am going to add 1 and 3. I will add 1 and 3 because it will turn out to be a will get cancelled out, and this will be 2c minus 2b equals to 3, and c is minus 1, then minus 2b equals to 5, which clearly means b equals to minus 5 by 2. Now we have got value of b also. Now in another case, like we are going to put these two values in any one of the equation, let's say in equation 5, then what I am getting is a minus 5 by 2 minus 1 equals to minus 2. And when I will solve this 5 by 2 and this, I will get some a equals to 3 by 2. Just it is all about manipulations. A equals 3 by 2, b equals to minus 5 by 2, and c equals to 1. And we also know that d plus a equals to 2. A equals to 3 by 2. After putting in equation 4, we will get d equals to half. So we have got all the four values. Now I will rewrite xi x in this equation. Xi x will be, what is the value of a? 3 by 2 mod of x plus 1 plus minus 5 by 2 mod of x plus c is minus 1 minus x plus half. Now this fx is totally inside the modulus, and no coefficient is outside the modulus except for 1. So I am taking 3 by 2 also inside. Therefore xi x will be equals to 3 by 2 x plus 1, then modulus, then minus 5 by 2 x, then modulus, then minus x plus half. Okay. So simply when we will compare it from this equation, let's call this equation number 6. From this equation we will get fx equals to 3 by 2 x plus 1, and gx will be minus 5x by 2. And when I am comparing hx, then hx will be minus x plus 2. So one solution for fx, gx and hx are these. And now one more solution is possible because it's mod. So I can write it in a different way also. Let's see how. We had got, I am rewriting it over here. Xi x equals to 3 by 2 x plus 1 mod minus 5 by 2 x mod minus x plus half. Now we also know that modulus of minus x equals to x. Modulus. I am going to use this property over here. I can also write it as minus 3 by 2 x plus 1 minus 5 x by 2 minus x plus half. Like this also I can write it. Now by comparing from here, I will get that fx equals to minus 3 by 2 x plus 1, and gx, which is this part, equals to minus 5x by 2, and hx will be minus x plus half. So I am getting two solutions for this equation problem of Putnam 1999. First solution is that fx equals to 3 by 2 x plus 1, gx equals to minus 5x by 2, and hx equals to minus x plus half. And the another solution is fx equals to minus times the previous one, and gx equals to minus times the previous one, and hx will remain same. So these are my two solutions for this problem of Putnam 1999. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.